Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Today we have the TAG Heuer Carrera Chronograph, the 39mm glass box. This watch was released in celebration of the 60th anniversary of the Carrera line, and I gotta say, this is my favorite one yet. I've honestly never been a big TAG fan, but this one has me convinced otherwise. This watch has a beautiful domed sapphire crystal that has the tachometer inside of the crystal. This absolutely gorgeous dial and face design paired with an in-house 80-hour power reserve automatic bidirectional chronograph movement. There's a lot of reason to be really excited about this watch. We'll get to all of that and more in this full technical and design review of this watch. So let's get right into it. So this model has affectionately been called the glass box, and that's because everything on the dial is within the sapphire crystal, including the tachometer around the outside. So other watches like the Speedmaster Professional, the tachometer will be on the external to the crystal, but on this one, everything's inside this amazing sapphire crystal. This gives the dial a tremendous amount of depths and makes every single angle catch the light. So you can see there on that outer edge, there's the tachometer, but inside where their individual markings are for the seconds and minutes, you can see a curved surface on the inside of the dial. So that almost bowl dips down into the center of the dial. The indices are cut into that, this beautiful, nice, shining steel silver color, and coming down onto the dial with this beautiful sunburst blue. Each of the chronograph sundials has concentric rings to add some variety to the dial. And it comes down into this beautiful blue strap with a nice buckle attachment. I'm a huge fan of the color blue, so the blue dial with the blue strap is an absolute killer combination for me. The profile of the watch, nice mix of mirror finishes as well as brush finishes, TAG logo on the crown, and a very just classic chronograph look. This watch is also powered by an amazing in-house movement, which I'll show a lot more of later. But right now, let's dive into the technical specs. Alright, so I'll pull up the technical specs on the left. So the diameter is 39mm. The thickness is approximately 14mm. You can see that domed sapphire adds to the thickness. The lug-to-lug distance is a nice tight 46mm, with the lug width being 22. So a little bit larger than I would expect for a watch of this size, but I think the proportions work out nicely. The movement is the TH20-00 in-house bidirectional chronograph movement with an 80-hour power reserve in such a small package size. The water resistance is 100 meters, and the crystal is, of course, a sapphire crystal, on both the front and on the back side with the exhibition case. There is lume on the hands as well as dots around the indices, not a tremendous amount, but enough to let you read time in low light situations. And what I really love about this watch is that it has an exhibition back showing that beautiful in-house TH20-00 caliber. This is an 80-hour power reserve, and just look at the finishing on that watch. Beautiful Côte de Genève stripes there, custom rotor. I love that the balance wheel is a different color than the rest of the movement. Beautiful jewels exposed, just really top-notch finishing, beautiful design, and I love when these high-end watches have an exhibition back to show you the beauty of the mechanics underneath. Let's get a couple shots on the wrist. So here we have it on my 7.5-inch wrist. The 39mm diameter with the 46 lug-to-lug is one of my favorite sizes. I think it's an excellent balance of wrist presence, nice size, it's compact, and this look is just so sleek with how the light catches the indices. I love how everything's within the sapphire crystal. It just looks so nice with the light, and that blue sunburst kind of look catches the angles so nicely, and it's got that brilliant TAG Carrera style. I'm also loving this blue leather strap. I'm a big fan of the color blue, so almost everything on this watch ticks a box for me from a design aesthetic perspective. So I'm here today once again at Royal Jewelers in Andover, Massachusetts. Royal Jewelers is where I purchased my Tudor Black Bay and Oris Big Crown, and they've been kind enough to let me film using one of their watches. I highly recommend you check them out if you're in the Massachusetts area. Link to their website in the description. So there actually is also a black color option available for this line. The black has a couple different colors on the dial and the hands, but the most notable feature is, as you can see on the blue, the date window is at the 6 o'clock position, whereas for the black dial, it is at the 12 o'clock position. So not only is there a difference in the color, but there's also a slight difference in the dial layout. So let's talk MSRP and value. So MSRP for this watch is $6,450 US as of 6/22/2023. This is obviously a luxury watch, and so in that price category, I typically compare it to other watches of similar price points. Notably, the first thing that comes to mind is the Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch. At an approximately similar price point, this tag has in-house movement, it has full sapphire crystal exhibition back, 80-hour power reserve. It also has tremendous brand heritage, this being the 60th year of the Carrera line. So I think this all stacks up very competitively against something like a Speedmaster Professional. The only thing I could want more out of this watch at this price point would to also come on a bracelet option, whereas right now it is just available on the leather strap. Outside of that, I think every single feature on this watch is of the quality and what you would expect out of a watch of that high of a price point, but I think it's really competitive with other watches in that price category as to what it offers, and also just the fact of how beautiful this watch looks. So in conclusion, I am absolutely blown away by this watch. I love all of the design features, if that isn't already obvious throughout the review. I think it's competitive at its price point with other watches as far as its features and heritage it offers. There's really not many things I could knock this for, and I gotta say, really love this out of TAG Heuer. I wasn't a big TAG fan going into this, but handling this watch is starting to make me a big TAG fan. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about this watch? What do you think about TAG in general? Let me know, I'd love to hear what you think. So that's all for me today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.